Welcome to my show. A guest here. His name is Stephen Hightower. Mr. Stephen, how are you doing, sir?
Very good. How are you, sir?
I'm fine. Thank you very much, Mr. Stephen. And also, thank you so much for the time and the opportunity, Mr. Stephen. Firstly, you are an author. You are also a EV infrastructure expertise. Can you please, Mr. Stephen, discuss more about yourself and how you are doing currently now, Mr. Stephen?
Well, thank you very much for the opportunity. I live here in Middletown, Ohio, which is in the U.S. We call it the heart of it all, and I grew up in business as a young fella, 14, 15, and 16, and negotiated contracts and really started the business heavy when I was 18, and today had an opportunity to sell gasoline and diesel in 1981. But before that, in 1979, 80, 81, I went to Nigeria for the first time and met with a few gentlemen like Otumba Ojora and, you know, uh, Chief Akajobi and Sir Mobiliji Bank Anthony and a lot of uh, people that was in the stock exchange as we went on a trade mission from the state of Ohio to Lagos, Nigeria. And that's when I first set my foot in on the continent of Africa and was told that everything that I thought I wanted to sell did not work. Okay. So my whole bag and all my tricks were not for naught because what I did not do my research. It was my first time going to the continent, and I really thought that I had everything that they needed, but everything that I took was nothing that could be used. And so I tell a lot of individuals who want to go to the continent is to do your research. Find out what people want and need, not what you want to sell them. And so I learned that at a very, very young age to begin to study the people of Nigeria and the businesses of Nigeria and the continent overall, because I also do business in South Africa. But Nigeria and South Africa is pretty much where I landed because, again, like everything else, it's relationships. And you got to be able to develop those relationships over time for people to do real with you. It's one thing to say, okay, we have this conference call over the internet, and all of a sudden you're ready to do $1 billion worth of work, or even $100,000 worth of work. It's not going to happen like that. Okay, it's
Exactly.
going to happen after that confidence and trust has been developed. With some people are credible, some people are not. Here
Hmm.
in the U.S., you find some people who's credible and some people are not. And so that's the way of the world. And as long as you have that open mind to know that people are people, and you have to be open enough to find those that you can trust.
Hmm.
But most importantly, they have to be able to trust you. And that's one thing that I've been able to develop and secure over a period of time is relationships and giving people their respect in their culture and in their knowledge and those things that they bring to the table and how you can work with each other. And I think that's the most important thing.
Yes, it's definitely 100% an honor to have for have you to have been to a country like Nigeria, which is a very beautiful culture, and that is very important. A lot of people have to try their best to get research, no matter where we want to get to, no matter the country we want to try to, do probably a business or actually build relationship with, because where we are being born or where we are being, grown, there are a lot of ways we do our things, but when we go to another place is definitely always different. And that is why relationship is very important and research is very important. And I'm very glad that research is something that is very, is everywhere now. It's in Google and it's everywhere. We could definitely get the research and it will definitely help one to definitely know a lot before one can definitely take some step that will definitely help one no matter the career he or she is trying to build. And also, I would like to dive to your book, Mr. Stephen, Falling from Zero to 1 Billion. Can you please, Mr. Stephen, discuss more on the book? And do you plan to write more books in the coming future, Mr. Stephen?
Well, there's a couple things. I think that being able to take from my mind and put it on paper for someone else to learn and have a pathway to success is very important because we're all going to leave here, you know,
Yeah.
and God has his time. And when he calls you, everything's going to be in the ground. So, what are you going to leave behind? And that's what I decided to write a book because of my trials and tribulations and the long journey to success, understanding what it takes to become successful and what successful principles that I utilize to be where I'm at today. And I think as a business is business. It doesn't matter black business or white business. Business is business. And once you learn those basics of business, then you can apply the language in which the commodity that you're working with can then set on. All right. But the basic principles of business is the same. And how I was able to grow my business from one contract to over time do over $1 billion worth of sales just basically in 3 to 4 years because I stayed in it. I had the foresight to understand that what was possible and that even me, a little old me, okay, with one contract and one opportunity can build a big business. And that means that you, little old you, okay, can also do the same thing. But it's not going to happen overnight. And it's going to happen by being honest, by showing up on time, by delivering what you say you're going to deliver, when you say you're going to deliver, and just be a professional. We as Africans and African Americans have to be professional with each other. All right. And that is how we as a diaspora is going to come together, inclusive of the Black Americans and the Africans and the Central Americans and those all around the world can come together in one hand and have one voice to be one conglomerate of people that can service and be a part of the economic wealth of this world. And it's ours. You hold all the minerals and all the assets, the diamonds, the oil, the lithium, the copper. It's all right there. We should not be giving it away. We should be giving it to each other and growing each other's business. And that's why I keep my hands on the continent of Africa, because I know the strength, the beauty, the precious minerals, the wealth that sits in that continent that is being unfortunately taken by others, and others that don't put it in your pocket nor mine. And I know that we have the ability to think differently about each other, bring what you have with people like what I have together to become something much greater. And that's what we want to leave here with, is to know that it's possible that in a proper way, in a trusting way, and in a way that we both have the same goals, and that's to succeed in a way in which everybody eats, not just one, but everybody gets to eat. And once we get to that point, we'll rule the world. And that is scares the bejeebies out of people, is the fact that we've got the ability to rule the world.
100%. And I honestly want to thank you for that beautiful insight. That is why we all need to be humble. And I'm very honored because, we barely see people who actually see the beauty within a country and continent like Africa, see every single thing that is there. And for us to have this kind of kindness, humility, and having this kind of togetherness, I think when we stand together, we'll definitely be more stronger to create tremendous things that will definitely make us more greater and more confidence with what we have. We have everything and we have to know how we could use it. And I'm very happy that as a man, we do know that we are all going to leave this world one day. And for you to bring out something like your book to make people remember that a person like Mr. Stephen actually did something from nothing and he tried his best with every single thing, with the humility, with the honesty, with the kindness, with every knowledge he has had. He did it and actually get to a point in life that is very beautiful. It is a sense of motivation for every single person around, no matter where we are, whether we are black or Hispanic or anywhere we find ourselves. we could definitely do tremendous things. Most of the time, we do not usually know what we really have. And when we start to realize it, then we definitely know how to use it well. Most especially, we need to use it in the right and positive way so that more people will definitely be adapted and grow with us. So thank you so much for the insight and what you've done to definitely bring back, something that people will definitely remember you for and usually honor you for regarding the book you've written, Mr. Stephen. I would like to dive to the point of opportunities. We have to be honest. As you said earlier, there are hundreds of opportunities. Opportunities are everywhere. But the most difficult part of opportunities is how we are going to identify those opportunities. So, for someone starting with little or no financial banking, what do you think are some practical steps from your experience they can take to identify real and scalable opportunities, Mr. Stephen?
Well, the world is the world. People are people. You got people who are knowledgeable, that's trustworthy, that's aggressive, that are business people, and then you've got others. And others could be from crooks, the criminals, to people who just want to pray. Okay, don't want to do business. They just want to come and bless people. But business people have to be able to come together, all right, and talk about business. And when you find those people who are congruent with you, all right, and have the same morals and the same philosophy and the same aspirations as you. Everybody's not, I mean, you're in your own family. Everybody's not together. Everybody's not the same. Everybody don't want the same. But there are like-minded people that you want to associate and align yourself with. There's a gentleman in Nigeria. His name is Seyu Dendante, and he has a company called Best Staff. And he's a brother that I call him my brother because he is straight. He's lifted me. I've lifted him, and we can do business together because we're trusted individuals, we're friends, and that's something that if I come to Nigeria and I come one time and I go away, and then I just expect that we're going to do $1 million over the internet, it'll never happen. In the United States, it takes on an average of 7 sales calls to make a sale. Here in the US, it takes at least me going in and out of a country, meeting with someone like yourself to get that relationship to make a sale in Nigeria. So it's no different in here in the US as it is in Nigeria because it's all about people. And people got to get comfortable. They got to know you're going to come back. They know that you're going to be there. You're not going to try to let's just take something and run with it and bring it back to our home, but never benefit those local communities in which you've taken it from. And we can't have the same philosophy as some of the other cultures like the Chinese or the Russians, where they only want to just take back for them and not take back for us. And so being able to have that affinity for each other, okay, and our blackness as it might be, okay, is our value. And our value has to be monetized into something that all of us could eat on for a long time. And unfortunately, or fortunately, as the motherland, you have all the value that we need in order to do what we have to do. Now, how do we come together and make that work? And again, those are the basics that we have to do as a people on both continents.
That shows that trust is very important. And we have to know as people, no matter the niche that we are into, we have to now to gain the sense of community. We have to gain the sense of building a relationship with one another because there is
Absolutely.
beauty and there is power in togetherness. When one is separated, that is when there's issue. But if there is togetherness, it is will be very difficult for anything to penetrate into it. And that is the beauty. If we could come together and we build a relationship, the niche and the trust comes in, then we can definitely grow together and become something more powerful than we ever imagined. No matter how it is, probably it might be business, it could be, no matter how it is, just be in a position whereby you get your people, get to be in a point of community and build trust and community, and the beauty starts to come out. And that is what we definitely need. So thank you so much for the insight, Mr. Stephen. And also for those who are already, have this kind of grit and also this kind of small network, some people might have developed themselves to a certain point. How do you think listeners, what we already have, even if it is just grit or a small network, how can they use that to create a momentum and start something that is very, very impactful in their life, Mr. Stephen?
Well, again, you have to be in proximity with someone, which means that either someone has to travel to you or you have to travel to someone. And so, because it's possible for travel to the US, likewise from the US to Nigeria, that is, if you are actually interested in making those relationships, that plane goes both ways. As we go to the continent can come to us. All right. But we got to have an open mind and a willingness to take those chances. And the only person that's going to take those chances are entrepreneurs and people who want more. Now, there will always be the benevolent individuals coming over, to help build a church or to give some, social means. But those people need to have that experience as well. All right. But the business community is the one who has to be willing to step up. All right. Get in the plane and go do business. All right. It's okay to sleep in Lagos. It's okay to sleep in Cincinnati, Ohio. But we need to be able to work the entire world as it relates to opportunity. And that opportunity, unfortunately, I cannot wait for you to come here. So I get up and I go there. But likewise, that works in both directions. And once we understand that if it's something you really want, you're willing to sacrifice and make that step to grow it. And then you got to know what's possible. And then you got to do it in the right way. And then you got to continue to do it over and over again, because it's not going to happen in a short term. It's going to happen in a long term. So where are you at? Where's your mind? Where's your mind going? All right. And can you see far enough to become successful? So that's
Beau-
important.
Beautiful. Opportunities are everywhere, but we have to know how to reach out. We have to know how to
Access it.
get to people. It is very important because they will usually say something. If one doesn't ask, one doesn't get. We have to know how to go out, reach out, and see how we could do it in the positive and in the right way. And we have to be very aware. Honesty is important. No matter how small it is, we just need to be 100% honest. And we have to continue to do this over and over and over again. As you said, we continue to reach out, we continue to meet people, get relationship, and the world will continue to become more stronger. When the connection is there and everything has been strong enough, beauty starts to come in. Everything just starts to come in. And now it is not our time to know how we could use it in the right way, know how we could develop some things, also build some kind of society that are more impactful, and also make things more better in the life we find ourselves. That shows the kind of world that we are into, and we have to definitely understand it so that we can know how to do. So we have to know how to reach out and know how to meet people. That is the only way we can build a lot of habits that will help every single one of us. And also, in your journey, you've built a lot of journey as a person, a long time you've been into the world, you've faced a lot of ups and downs, and actually you've conquered a lot of things. But in your start of your journey, you might have one thing that you wish someone would have told you when you actually started that time. With time, there's this sense of I wish I knew this when I started. You understand? So what do you think is one thing you wish someone told you at the start of your journey? Something our audience can definitely take on to carry with them now, Mr. Stephen.
Well, the journey is like having a child. And when you have a newborn baby, the little newborn baby cannot do much and it takes a lot of massaging, and it takes a lot of time, and you got to feed that baby, you got to wake that baby, you got to burp that baby. Those are the things a startup business is like a baby. And so the key is, can you keep that baby long enough to grow it into a teenager and then to an adult? And that's time. Those are years. And if you look at your business as a child that you're growing, you got to know before that child is mature. He may mature in 16 years. It may take 20 years. It may take 40 years for that baby to become full grown. And I'm into that 44 years. So when you see what I'm doing and what I have, it's a full grown man. Okay. My business have become a full grown man to be able to stand up and work this entire world, not just the city, not just the United States, but the world. And if you understand that it's going to take the time that God requires, not what you want. If you say, I just want to do this for about a year and to see what happens, don't waste your time. All right, because it's not going to happen. It's still a baby. You're not going to have the results you're looking for. It's a long game. It's not a short game. And if you can put that time in and willing to take those heartaches and those bad days and the days you don't have no money, the days you got to feed your family, but you still got to keep this going, that's how you're going to make it. It's not an easy way. It's not a quick way. It's God's way. And God says you got to put the work in. All right. If you want to be a champion for the rest of your life, you put in the work right now and live the rest of your life as a champion.
That is 100% beautiful. Patience is very important no matter what we are building. We have to just build it. We have no choice. Patience is more important. No matter how little it is, we have to be more patient. It could take years. As you said, it could take 10, 15, but we will definitely know when it is definitely matured enough to do a lot of powerful things in the society. We have to learn the
Absolutely.
sense of patience. We have to learn the sense of persistence. There are sometimes things will be heavy, things will be tough. That is the time we have to show ourselves that we need to do a lot of things to build ourselves to be more better. So that when we get to the top, we'll know how to use what we have in the right way. There is nothing like easy success. There's nothing like easy money. It is just life. It could come, it disappears. But something that will last takes time. And
And,
yeah,
and and one of those things that go along with that long journey and that longevity is your reputation. And it takes a lifetime to build a reputation, and it takes 15 seconds to tear it down. One lie, one falsehood at one time, your entire life can totally be changed into everything that you did can be gone if you just want to be tricky one time and not keep stay on the right lane. I know in Europe they drive on the left lane. We drive on the right lane. Okay, but if whatever lane you drive on, if you get in that other one, you're gonna hit a car. Okay, you're gonna run into something. So you got to stay in your lane. All right, and don't worry about trying to get over there where everybody else is. Okay, because that's trouble. That's a problem. So just stay in that right lane because that is what's going to make people want to do business with you. That honesty and that integrity. But if you don't have any integrity and you had already ruined that, and it's easy to find, your road is going to be hard. And the road is going to be rough because ain't nobody really want to do business with a crook, just
true.
like that. And I want to also add, probably for the last 30 years, I've had Nigerians work in my office, and they still work in my office. I got South Africans work in my office, and they still work in my office. So, I understand that quality is everywhere amongst us. And we just have to find the right qualified individuals that want to do right. And it doesn't matter where they're from. All right.
True. And I love what you said. Reputation. That is, it's covered a lot of things. Something someone might have built for years can be terminated within seconds. It is very powerful. That means we have to continue to build that sense of kindness, honesty, and we need to protect our reputation. It is very important.
Gotcha.
And the only way we can do that is just for us to continue to stay honest and stay true to ourselves. It is very important so that the thing we have built, they will not say this one thing is the reason why they won't. We have to continue to build that sense of kindness and humility. And I'm very glad that you embrace people. It is very important. And I love that embracing people is very powerful. Even from my country, from other countries you've brought together to do a lot of things, which is very beautiful. Many people don't do that today. A lot of people are more of this selfish, and a lot of people are just for myself, and all those things are what we are definitely facing in the generation we are currently. It is 100% beautiful, and I'm very very glad for that. That people like this are still outside, and they're definitely doing great things to definitely make the world a better place. Lastly, I would like to go back to your book, Fueling from Zero to 1 Billion. If listener could just take one principle from your book into their personal or business life, which what you would you think it would be, and why would you pick that, Mr. Stephen?
Well, I would say the fear of failure. And I don't see failure as failure, but as a learning experience. I don't see failure as failure, but a way to practice my techniques and to perfect my performance. I don't see failure as failure, but as a game that I must play to win. Because you're not judged by the number of times that you fail, you're judged by the number of times you succeed. And the number of times you succeed is in direct proportion to the number of times that you can fail and keep on trying. So don't think that just because you hit a rock and a post today that you don't have highway ahead of you. Okay, it's because you got to keep on trying. And next time you won't hit that pole because you know better. It's just a learning experience on the way to your success. Okay.
I'm 100% glad you understand this. As in, that is just the truth. Failure is just going to be there. All the signs of setback, thrown stone at is definitely going to be there. Even as a person who is building something, it's definitely something, one has to face, and we have to just understand it. We learn. And that is life. If we fail, if we see a lot of setback, if we see some things that are not going well, we learn. And when we learn, we become more better than before. Then when we want to do other things, we know how we could do the approach and make it more better and more approachable. And that is what we have to understand. Failure is something that we can't escape it. It's just a normal phase of life. It's a way to make us learn and also develop ourselves and see the setback and things that we need to work on so that things will be more better for us, so that we can live a more vibrant and a more stronger community, so that when things comes in, we'll know how to face it and handle it responsibly. Thank you so much for that beautiful insight, Mr. Stephen. There's a question I normally ask during the end of the show, Mr. Stephen. From the forefathers, from the ancestors, there are a lot of things that do exist during our ancestral time that is missing in our time today. If there is anyone or anything you would like to bring back to our time today, Mr. Stephen, what do you think that thing will be, Mr. Stephen?
I am the voice. I must lead and not follow. I must create and not destroy. I must believe and not doubt. I am a voice of God. I am a leader. And I defy the odds and set new standards. And each and every one of you, step up, step up, step up, and become great. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Stephen. There is no one on earth that could not become a leader. And there is also no one on earth that could not get to a stage in life. But we have to face it. It's just like climbing a step, climbing a step. We have to climb. When we climb to a step, to a point, we get tired. We rest again. We go back again. We continue.
Hey,
That is it.
look, rest when you die, and then rest in peace.
That's it. So we have to just definitely develop ourselves and we have to stay true, be honest, and face everything. The gold will come in. It might take time. It might take time before it's mature, but we have to be
It's going to
patient
take that.
and we have to take care of our reputation. It is very important. We have to continue to stay true and be more honest. And definitely, beautiful things will come in. And I'm very glad you've brought a book that will definitely help us and help every single one of us to definitely build ourselves and also learn and say, Mr. Stephen is someone who has definitely done this. Why can't I do it? Why can't I do these tremendous, beautiful things? I just have to be true to myself and be more positive, and things will come out. And that is it. It will take time. Failure will come, setback will come. It's normal, it's a process. Then we'll see the great, great things to come in. And I also want to use this opportunity, Mr. Stephen, is an honor. But a man who has been to Nigeria and who even have Nigerians, even have people in the continents as people who he relates with is very beautiful. And it is an honor to have you. And I also want to deeply, sincerely thank you for the time you've given and the opportunity. Thank you so much, Mr. Stephen.
Well, thank you for giving me the opportunity.
All
God
right.
bless you.
God bless you too. Have a wonderful day, Mr. Stephen. Bye bye.
See ya.